Hello lovely ones and welcome to the Salt YouTube channel. My name is Ray. Grab yourself a little bevy and we're going to go over some scriptures today. This verse is for anyone who might have a little feeling that they are actually not ready to meet someone, but they are actively dating. And there's something in you that feels like maybe you should have a break. And that is something that I personally went through. I really felt God speak to me about going into a single season, which felt very uncomfortable for me. And I know, like, okay, right, this is actually vulnerable share. I don't really want to share this online, but I actually think it's important because it's like actually I think a lot more common. Yeah, it's just I think quite a common thing people can feel, and it's really important. I think if you feel like you shouldn't be dating right now, like trust God's voice and leading into that, even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. So I had realised that I had always been in a relationship with someone, even if that was just like texting someone. I was never like 100% single, and I know this sounds bad, you know, who knows, people might take this the wrong way, but probably from the age of 15 years old, I was seeing someone or texting someone, I had boyfriends, and it just happened like that. Like I'd get out of a relationship and go into another one, just a product of what culture is like these days, going from one thing to the next thing, one thing to the next thing. When I gave my life to Jesus, that changed like a lot for me, and God decided to really work on my identity. I was in a relationship, and I was in a relationship for a little while, and then I came out of that relationship, and I just knew God was saying very clearly, Ray, I don't want you to go into any relationships. I don't want you to date. I just knew that God needed me to be single and just to focus on my relationship with him. And I did that, and it was the most uncomfortable space in my life because I hadn't realised that I didn't know who I was outside of like a romantic relationship. I literally didn't. I put my identity and my value into that, and a lot of insecurities came up for me, and I realized that those relationships were like plasters over like wounds in my life. And basically when God took me into that single season, it was like ripping those band-aids off, and it revealed those wounds and that I really needed to heal. And God gave me, he spoke to me so much through the book of Hosea. I swear I would read this book and just cry sometimes when that stuff, it would, like those wounds, those insecurities would be coming up, and I would just be leaning into God, and oh my gosh, it was just so uncomfortable, and I can't fully explain it. You probably only understand what I'm saying if you've like been through that. Not everyone would have been through that probably, because we're on all of our unique journeys. But this verse, so let me read this. Hosea 2 verse 14, it says this. God says, therefore I am now going to allure her. I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. And there I will give her back vineyards, and I will make the valley of Acre a door of hope. And there she will respond as in the days of her youth. In that day, declares the Lord, you will call me my husband, and you will no longer call me my master. And there's a lot of incredible verses around this as well, but that's the verse I want to focus on. Therefore I'm now going to allure her. I will lead her into the wilderness and speak tenderly to her. Sometimes God leads us into the wilderness. If he sees that there are situations where he's like, that's no, like he did with me. Oh gosh. Do you know, God looks at some situations with people that are dating that actually need to be putting that energy to their relationship with God. But it says, I will lead her into the wilderness. That means leading. That means we have to follow his lead. So sometimes we do have free will. We don't have to follow his lead. But I would always follow God's voice, follow his lead, because when we ignore it, that's when we go our own way, and it just... it's just not the best way. It's just not God's way. And it says, I will speak tenderly to her. Oh my gosh, guys, can I just share this with you? In that season, I felt so insecure. I felt invisible. I felt ugly. I felt all of these feelings about myself that was so covered up in the busyness of my like lifestyle and just like going from one thing to the next, and you know, a lot of them light-hearted things, to be honest, but it was all just sort of like, you know, fun and games. And then when that was taken away from me, there was so much insecurity that was like covered up, and God says, I will speak tenderly, I will give her back her vineyards, I will make the valley of Acre a door of hope. So God wants to take that pain away. He wants to take those insecurities away and replace it with hope. And I am not joking, the way that I encountered the love of Christ in that season, and I wouldn't have if I hadn't have been single. The way I encountered God in that season is a foundation that I still stand on today, and it happened several years ago, and God has also continued to build on that. Maybe some of you are like, yeah, but Ray, how do I know if I'm not ready to date? Maybe this is a sign. So if you feel worthless unless you're in a romantic relationship, or if you feel like just so insecure or just not good enough unless that validation of like a romantic partner kind of is filling that space, that might be a sign. That might be a sign that a single season is much needed. And this won't be for everybody, but it might be for the few that are watching this video. I pray that it blesses you, and I love you guys, and I will see you in the next video.